Pokémon is always trying to find new and innovative ways to make a Pokémon evolve, but they forget about some whose evolution way should be fixed. Maybe they didn't do it because of limitations with the technology or lack of innovation at the time, or maybe they know what they are doing, but you can be the judge after watching this video. Let's take a look at 10 Pokémon that evolved the wrong way. Number 10. Slowpoke. Fans have been asking for Pokémon fusions for quite some time, but we actually have that since the first generation. Slowpoke evolves into Slowbro simply by leveling up to level 37, but take a look at the Pokédex. Slowbro's Pokédex entry from Pokémon Stadium says, if its tail is beaten by a Shelder, Slowpoke evolves into Slowbro. The Shelder seems to like its crunchy tail. Then we have Slowbro's lost brother, Slowking, which should also evolve with the help of Shelder, but instead does by trading a Slowpoke with a King's Rock attached. Slowking's Pokédex entry from Pokémon Diamond says, being beaten by a Shelder gave it intelligence comparable to that of award-winning scientists. So what? If you are in the middle of the desert and a Slowpoke hits level 37, a Shelder comes out of nowhere and bites its tail? Or a Shelder attracted to the King's Rock jumps into the Link trait and bites a Slowpoke in the head? The right way for a Slowpoke to evolve into a Slowbro should be by leveling up by having a Shelder in your body, which would disappear after that since it is going to become part of a Slowbro. For a Slowking, you would need to have a Shelder and a Slowpoke with a King's Rock attached, and then level it up. We have similar examples to these evolutions with Mantic evolving into Mantine by having a Remoraid in your body, and Pancham, who evolves into Pangoro by having a Dark-type Pokémon in your body. The difference being that you don't lose the Remoraid or Dark-type Pokémon. Number 9 and number 8. Lickitung and Piloswine. Lickitung evolves into Lickilicky by simply knowing the move Crawl Out, and Piloswine evolves into Mamoswine by knowing the move Ancient Power. The problem here is that they can learn this move since Generation 2, and their evolutions were introduced in Generation 4. It doesn't make sense that before they couldn't evolve and now they suddenly can. They introduced a new evolution method so that Eevee could evolve into Leafeon, since the Leaf Stone was introduced back in the first generation, and it wouldn't have made sense that it could suddenly evolve with it. Shouldn't they have applied the same logic with these two? Number 7. Type Null. Type Null in Pokémon Moon says, due to the danger that this synthetic Pokémon may go on a rampage, it wears a control mask to restrain its power. Silvally in Ultrasound says, this is its form once it has awakened and evolved. Freed from its heavy mask, its speed is greatly increased. Type Null shouldn't even evolve, he just breaks his mask and that's it. Silvally should be a form, so there should be an item that you can use to break the mask or remove it or something. Even their stats are the same, the only difference being its speed, which is understandable since it had a heavy mask on. Number 6. Teddiursa. Look at Teddiursa's forehead and tell me what does that shape looks like. Now look at Ursaring's chest. What does that shape looks like? You already know where I'm going with this. Teddiursa's Pokémon Gold entry says, if it finds honey, its crescent mark glows. Teddiursa's Japanese game is Himeguma, and it makes reference to the crescent moon. It has a freaking crescent moon on its forehead, and it evolves into a bear with a full or new moon depending on how you look at it. So why doesn't it evolve with a moonstone, or at least during the night time? Number 5 and number 4. Beldum and Magnemite. Let's take a look at Magneton's Pokédex entry from Pokémon Diamond and Pearl. It is actually 3 Magnemite linked by magnetism. According to this Pokédex entry, you would need to catch 3 Magnemite to get a Magneton. Maybe you would still need to raise all 3 to a certain level so they can increase their magnetism and evolve. Metank's Pokédex entry from Pokémon Heart Gold and Soul Silver says, when 2 Beldum fuse together, a magnetic nervous system places their brains in union. Imagine if in order to get a Metan you would need to train 2 Beldum to level 20. Sounds like a pain, but it can get worse. Metagross Pokédex entry from Pokémon Fire Red and Leaf Green says, it is formed by two Metan fusing. Its 4 brains are said to be superior to a supercomputer. If Metagross would evolve the right way, that means first you will need to catch 4 Beldum and raise them up to level 20 to get 2 Metan, and now you will need to raise those 2 Metan to level 45 to get 1 Metagross. Thank Heelys that this is not the case. Allow me to finish this entry with Mega Metagross Pokédex entry in Pokémon Sun. This form results from 1 Metagross, 1 Metan and 2 Beldum linking up. Number 3 and number 2, Kirlia and Snorunt. So if you want a Gallade, you need a male Kirlia, but to get Gardevoir it doesn't matter whether it is male or female. If you want a Frostlass, you need a female Snorunt, but you can get Lady whether it is male or female. I understand that Gallade and Frostlass need a specific gender, but I don't get why Gardevoir and Glalie don't. If you are going to base an evolution in gender, make the whole evolution family work the same way. You have done that before, haven't you, Game Freak? Number 1. Eevee. We have Jolteon, Flareon and Vaporeon who evolved with the help of the Elemental Stones. We already had the Leaf Stone and the 7th generation introduced us to the Ice Stone. So I think they should allow Eevee to evolve into Leafeon and Glaceon by the same method. I understand that the Leaf Stone was introduced in the 1st generation when Leafeon wasn't around, but that didn't stop them from allowing the before mentioned Lickitung and Piloswine to evolve. I think fans would be fine with Eevee evolving this way, especially because they always place that Ice Rock so far in the game. If you think about it, all of the evolutions could evolve with stones, Espeon with Sunstone, Umbreon with Moonstone, and Sylveon with Shiny Stone. But in the end, part of Eevee's charm is its diversity when it comes to evolution methods, isn't it? And that finishes the list. Do you agree or disagree with it? Tell me in the comments. If you want to put a smile in my face, give it a like and share it with a friend. And subscribe if you haven't. See you guys in the next video.